Hello, I'm Philip Bluestein with Rocky Mountain Healthcare Law, formerly the Bluestein Law Firm. Welcome to our Facebook Live series, Business Insights Everyone Can Use. At the Rocky Mountain Healthcare Law Firm, we help healthcare professionals build and protect their careers and practices. Our topic today is relationships, the secret to an awesome business. We're here today with Philip Pelto, the owner and founder of Firestorm, which is a professional networking organization for business owners and salespeople. So, Phil, why don't you just kind of start out, tell us a little bit about yourself and about Firestorm.
Yeah, sure. So, first off, thanks for having me. And it's always good to meet another Phil that spells his name right with Belial.
I agree.
All right, so my name is Phil Pelto, and I own Firestorm, and we're a business-to-business networking organization, and we organize events and meetings for business owners to meet and build relationships and share referrals, and we provide a lot of education around that and really help people identify who are good strategic partners and help them facilitate that relationship building process and ultimately leverage it to build their business. So
great.
Yeah.
So I think we want to start talking a little bit about this. We can't cover everything there is,
totally.
And obviously people can contact you if they want to learn more about these kinds of
Yeah.
things. But I think the first question we talked about was why should business owners build networking relationships? And a lot of our clients, most of our clients are either they're healthcare professionals, maybe they own their own practice, or we also work with a lot of people in estate planning and asset protection.
Yeah.
But for our healthcare professionals, what advantages of doing networking? They're not traditionally considering themselves a lot of times as people who go out and network.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
why would somebody like that want to do it?
Yeah, totally. So, I think the first thing that I want to say is, I think there's sort of this perception of what networking is, and
Right.
it's this, salesy thing where you're going out and, throwing business cards around, and
Right.
and that's definitely one thing, aspect of it, one part that happens. But I think as a broader sort of look at it, there's this really long-term relationship building process, and that's what I think of when I think of networking.
Sure.
is really getting to know people on a deep personal level and understanding how I can be of service to them, and then making sure that they know how they can be of service to me, and there's this mutually beneficial relationship and stuff. So I think if you think about it in that perspective, it really benefits anybody, no matter what your business is. But to speak specifically to the audience that you had mentioned, which is physicians and dentists and things like that. I mean, people, no matter what business you're in, people want to do business with people that they like and that they trust. And especially, I'm a weirdo when it comes to dentists and stuff. I don't want somebody drilling in my mouth, that I don't really, really trust. So,
Right.
And I've gone through a couple of, dentists and trying to find a good one. But I think that's when I'm looking for something, and I assume other people are similar. They really look for a referral. They look for
Right.
somebody that they know that can say, "Yep, Phil went to this guy and he didn't die." No. So,
hopefully it's a better threshold than that. But
yeah, no, I had a great experience, and so I think that's one aspect of it when you're looking for new clients. But then from another aspect of it, especially in those professions, people are going out and trying to build strategic partnerships with other specialists. A lot of specialists will get their business from general practitioners and vice versa. If somebody goes to a specialist and they need a general practitioner or a family doctor, there's those relationships that get built there, and people are kind of sending business back and forth and stuff.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
And one of the things I think, and one of our missions is to remind our healthcare professionals. It seems like an awful lot, not all of them, but an awful lot of our physicians, our dentists, they don't think of themselves as business owners. And so they don't necessarily do the things that other business owners do, or they think, well, that's different. And really, if we look at it, they need to act like business owners if they really want their business, their practice to grow, be efficient, and kind of have the life they want.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things this is what business owners do. Because it makes sense and it pays off. So having said all that, like how do we just briefly, we don't have a ton of time, but how do we build those meaningful relationships through networking?
Well, I think the first thing is to make sure that you have the focus is on building those relationships, and you have, you know, kind of the intention to do that. And if you want to write it down, or, you know, just remind yourself of that on a regular basis, I think, you know, the first step is just to know that that's what you're trying to do. And then you're more cognizant of things where, you know, you pay attention to little details that you can use later on. But it's not, you know, it's one of these things, and I talk about this a lot. It can't be a move. You know, you're not doing it to, you know,
a pickup line.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're not doing it just to be self-serving and just to, you know, expand your business. Like, you actually have to be genuine and care about the other people and want to do it. Otherwise, it comes across as inauthentic and cheesy, and people can see through that. So, you know, I think as far as, you know, just sort of tips and tricks as far as how to build relationships, you know, bonding and rapport. There's a lot of books out there on that. You know, Carnegie has one on how to win friends and influence people. It's a lot of good information in there, but it's just
Bob Berg's another really good one.
Yeah,
Endless Referrals is a really good one too.
Yeah. So just taking, you know, an interest in other people and really caring about them. It's amazing how far that will get you if you just ask questions and then listen to what people have to say. Yeah. So.
I mean, making friends, it's just in a different type of setting.
Yeah, and it takes time. You know, that's the other thing I think that people need to realize is it doesn't happen overnight, and, you know, it takes a while to build those relationships and the trust. And
you know, I think that's an excellent point, and I think a lot of people, just from the networking groups I go to, not Firestorm, because Firestorm is very, very directed and very focused, but some of the other networking events that I go to, people go and they meet somebody and they seem to think that, they go to an event or two or a meeting or two, and then, I didn't get any referrals, this is a failure. And I don't know, you probably know better than me what the statistics are and like how long it really takes to build, on average, to build a relationship. I think it's like 6 months to a year, a lot of times they say.
Yeah, I don't think you're giving it a fair shake if you don't give it at least a year. It takes time, and we live in such an instant gratification kind of society where, you know, if I want something, I'd go on my phone, I'd buy it, and, you know, Amazon Prime, it's great. But relationships don't really work that way. So.
You know, and I know I'm digressing a little bit from our agenda, but, you know, it brings to mind something, you know, a lot of people do. That's how they grow their business. They're going to use Facebook or various things, and I think you can probably comment better than I can, but I mean, networking's been around forever, and it will continue to be around. You know, 10 years from now, Facebook will look completely different, and there'll be some other way that people are doing stuff, presumably, or other things they've added. Networking will still be here. Yeah. And so it really is the tried and true to build those solid relationships that grow your business.
It's, you know, it's just something, it's part of the human experience and human condition. Like, we can't get away from face-to-face interactions, you know, like,
as much as we may try.
So true. And it's so easy these days, you know. I mean, I could never leave my house and have everything I want. I can make money from my house, and you know, but people that really have deep, meaningful relationships are a lot happier. They live longer. I mean, it's like the number one factor in people that, you know, live a long, healthy life. So,
So you heard it here. Doing networking not only will grow your business, you'll live longer. Is that a guarantee?
Absolutely. Come see me.
We're starting to run a little bit out of time here, but real quick, give us 30 seconds of, you know, on leveraging those relationships. Yeah. I know you can cover it in 30 seconds.
Absolutely. So here's a couple of things on leveraging. First of all, you have to ask. You know, I think a lot of people, you know, they spend the time to do it, and then they just assume that it's going to happen, and it doesn't. And so you have to go the extra step and ask people for help. And then the other thing is you have to make it super easy. You have to take all the objections off the table and kind of anticipate what people are going to say and why they're going to not want to help you out. And I liken it to this. So this never happens anymore, but if it did, if your neighbor comes over to borrow a cup of sugar, and you're probably going to give it to them. You know, it's no skin off your back, super easy ask. But if I call you, I live in Arvada, we're in Boulder right now, and I say, Phil, can you lend me a cup of sugar? Oh, by the way, drive it to my house in Arvada. You're going to tell me to get lost, because you know that's like a lot of work. Small favor, but it's a lot of headache. So when you're going out and asking for referrals, like, do all the legwork before you sit down with people, and, you know, make sure that you've handle all those objections ahead of time and make it easy for the person, because I think we all want to help each other out.
Right.
You just have to make it super easy.
Yeah,
so,
great.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're just about out of time here. So as always, to everybody, thank you for joining us for this great information. I can certainly speak from personal experience working with Firestorm and doing network, how great it's been for our firm and certainly for our clients as well, the ones who engage in it regularly. Also, I would say that there are many challenges that we all face in our businesses in growing our practices or protecting our practices and careers. And Rocky Mountain Healthcare Law is here to help you with those things. So if you have a challenge that you're facing or you have an opportunity that you want to take advantage of, please feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Our phone number is 720-420-1777. And thank you again for joining us. At Rocky Mountain Healthcare Law, we believe in helping healthcare providers make the world a better place one patient at a time. Thank you very much.